Hi, welcome to NDE TV. I'm Peggy Robinson. Today's guest is Randall Smith, and he's going to tell us about his near-death experience. But I got to say, this is the first time I have done the show without my makeup and my hair pulled back because I am sunburned. We went to an auction today for a rototiller. It ended up being 7 hours, and I got burnt. So we'll just deal with it. So Randall, I'm gonna let you start wherever you like and take as long as you like.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Peggy. You look good. Sunburn does you good. uh, anyways, I was 6 and my dad and his friends were working on a car and they asked my dad to go over and help him work on his car. My dad was a pretty decent mechanic, so he went over and helped him work on a car in the garage. And at the time, the garage doors were closed except for the walk-in door. And I was with him. My dad asked me to go with him. So, and the side door was open and they were in the garage and the car was running. And I went in there, didn't really know what was going on. You know, I'm a 6-year-old. So I'm in the back behind the car playing while the car was running. They're at the door getting air. I'm not. So, next thing I know, I saw the light when I passed out. I passed out and hit my head on the bumper of the car, and I was gone. I was gone. And while there, uh, instantly I saw light beings. I saw the light went down a tunnel very quick. I don't recall having an actual life review, but I was given components of a life review throughout the near-death experience. So but anyways, I went to the light. These beings popped in, and I'm gone. I'm no longer in the body. I didn't look back. I don't recall anything about seeing the physical body, but I was gone. And they took me to different places in the spirit world, and we ended up in a big room, probably about the size, maybe, I don't know, being 6, it looked like it was huge. It could have been 20 feet, 30 feet. But there was an octagon shaped well in the middle of this room. And in this, I had two beings, one on the left, one on the right, and they were shimmering beings. There was no identity as far as male or female. They were shimmering beings. We're all like that, was the impression that I got from them. So as I'm looking in this well, um, there was just energy going on, and it was confetti looking energy. I mean, all the different colors of confetti. There was the magentas, pinks, blues, oranges, all those colors. And I was urged to put my hands in there to feel that. And when I did, I got a light tingling sensation. And it was just absolutely remarkable. When I pulled my hands back, I could feel them and I had a little glow to them. I could feel the energy, and didn't think much about it. Just thought that was really cool. So, and then we went down a couple more tunnels and um, wound back up in another room similar to that. And they were still on my left and my right. And in this particular other room, um, they said, you can go anywhere you want to go. And when they said that, a tunnel in front of me opened up and one to the left and to the right and one behind me. So when I did a scan and I looked back around to my left, I woke up on the couch in these people's house. And my dad and his friends carried me, or my dad, I'm not sure who actually did carry me, but they carried me, laid me in the house, and put me on the couch in the house. And there was a lady that lived there at the time. She was a nurse, so um, I don't know how ironically she had oxygen or something there. But when I woke up, I was definitely crying, and they pulled this oxygen off my face, and they were making sure I was okay. Well, they took me to the hospital and doctor's visits and this and that, and they found nothing really wrong with me. But I was gone about 20 minutes. That's what my mom and dad said, not 19, 20 minutes. That's how long it took them to get me around. So and then I came to, and life has been crazy ever since.
How
And
sad.
well, I see things, I hear things, I sense things, I know things. It's, right now, to me, it's a gift, but growing up, it was not a gift at all. I could see things happening, I can hear thoughts before people said things, and so on. So it really became pretty difficult to have a lot of friends.
Was that difficult in school?
Yeah, it was difficult in school. Yeah, it was difficult
Did you have trouble concentrating or?
in school. No, I didn't have trouble concentrating. Um, I saw things faster and quicker than most. But as far as concentrating, no, I knew the answers sometimes before they were even spoke, and so it made it kind of tricky for me. When you get accused of cheating and you've never seen anything that you can cheat from, I mean, how are you supposed to cheat? And things like that. And yeah, school was kind of difficult in that way, in that aspect of things. Yeah, I was a loner. So, I turned to music. I turned to music very early in life and started playing. I play the drums and the guitar, the piano, a little saxophone, a little harmonica. I mean, multi-talented in that area. And that's what fed my soul at the time. Not hearing from, the negative from kids and parents, stop lying, son, or stop lying, boy, or kid, or whatever the case may be. When you see things and you hear things and you sense things at a very early age, and there's no real guidance back then at all. Everything was, Christian this and Christian that. I grew up in a very religious family, and I consider myself to be, a Christian, I guess. I believe in all things. But I grew up in a Southern Baptist family, and my mom's dad was a preacher, and he was a Southern Baptist preacher. So every time I turned around, I was going to hell for something or another. So at some point, yeah.
So you don't know if you're a Christian or a sinner, huh?
Well, according to the Bible, we were all born sinners, and I found that hard to believe to begin with, because when I was in the light, there was no who thought about sin.
Yeah, if we're all born sinners, it's all downhill from there, right?
It is yeah, exactly. And I don't believe that in the slightest bit. So, but anyways, yeah, so I grew up in a Southern Baptist family, and every time I turned around, like I said, I was going to hell. So I learned to just really just not say anything and hold it in and just repress it and hold it and hold it and repress it. After a while, that doesn't work. Something's going to happen, and it's just going to all come out, and before you know it, it's going to be crazy. Well, I really didn't take what I had really serious early in life. My mom would have me kiss her head to make her headaches go away and things like that, rub my back, or here, just hold my hand, I could calm her down and things like that. But it's not uncommon to have people stop you on the street and ask, can I just hold your hand for a second? I don't look like I did then, of course, Peggy. I look more like Santa Claus now or whatever. But back then, I was very young and brown hair. But anyways, it just really surprised me. Your energy you put off to people is either a deterrent or an attractant. And I didn't realize that early in life, but I did realize it kind of early in life, because I realized that people were seeking some kind of guidance from something or somebody, and maybe my light shined a little different than most, or I don't know, my personality, I don't know, but I cannot tell you how many people come to me for advice when I was young, and it still just floors me and baffles my mind today. And apparently it was good advice, because some of them keep coming back still today. So I don't know, when you're tuned in to spirit. I know that since I had my near-death experience, I cannot wear a watch. I have problems with electrical devices and things like that, and I know that you do too. We're rewired and we're configured different.
Does
And
the battery just stop?
yeah, the battery stops. I was given a watch one time, a very expensive watch, and a self-winding watch. Well, the self-wind don't work anymore, so and that stopped within an hour or two of me having it. So it's just crazy. It's just crazy. I'm surprised that the lights have lasted as long as they have here. So, but it's still early. But anyways, yeah. So we're recharged, and I know that things are different for me and for you too, as opposed to a lot of other people. But having a near-death experience at 6, I grew up it was a crazy, in the 60s and 70s. We're the same age, so how crazy it was back then. And guidance comes from all areas of life, and I know that I've received a lot of guidance from just hearing I can give you some examples here. I know that I'm supposed to be here and I got some pretty cool things going on now. That I know that this is part of my journey and part of my plan for coming into.
Doesn't it feel like
But I've
everything
had
was
some
just
really
leading
cool.
up to this?
Oh, everything is leading up to this. It absolutely 100% is. So I'm getting ready to open a healing center here in Huntington, Indiana, and during my experience in the well with those two beings of light, and I had my hands in that and I felt the tingling sensation. It was just absolutely mind-boggling. And what's crazy about that too is go forward probably 30, 35 years, I was actually able to go underneath a rainbow and walk through. The rainbow goes about 5 feet off the ground. And I was able to walk through that, and I felt the tingling sensation very similar to what I felt when I put my hands in the well that time when I was 6. So that was kind of a remarkable thing. And it's really weird how nature will give you things if and when you're ready for those types of things that happen. So, having a near death experience at 6 has really taught me how to live as opposed to, worrying about dying. I've been there. I mean, I want to live in this physical life and I want to make the best as possible out of it. And I know that I'm a servant of the creator, mother, father, God, master spirits, teachers, healers, and guides, all of them. It's not one. I believe there's many, many divine beings who help us through these lifetimes. And I said lifetimes because I think we have multiple lifetimes. I have a hard time believing we're going to get it all in just this one lifetime. And from what I experienced since my near-death experience, I know there's no possible way we can get it in one lifetime. It's just so much, and I hate to bring things up that are current right now, but we've been lied to for so long, we don't even know what's truth on the outside. We have to know what's truth on the inside for us. And that's the big difference between us and a lot of the people out there. I feel that we're leaders. I'm not saying I'm not degrading or diminishing anything like that, okay? But I know that we're leaders, and I want other people to step into this role too, because we have to take control of our lives, our health, particularly our health. For once, you know, sick people want one thing, healthy people want everything. So when you can help people get healthy again and create a lifestyle of just being aware, when a bird stops and it's just doing some crazy things around you, what does it mean when the bird shows up to you? What kind of bird was it? Look it up in a book. What does a bird mean? There's messages everywhere, and we can be guided through these messages, and they're everywhere. There may have been a message from us being a little discombobulated earlier. Who knows? We'll figure that out later. But
You
yes,
said
everything.
you said that light beings, I think you said, took you to different places. Can you be more specific?
The
Give me some
different
detail.
places, it was more like hallways, a waiting area, and by that I mean the hallways were probably, I don't know, I couldn't touch either side, and with them being next to me, they couldn't touch either side, and it was zip real quick, and we're into it looked like an entryway, and then into another place, an entryway, and then I went through another room that was like just the books were not really necessarily books. It looks like a crystal there, and to me, those are the, what do they call them? The books of lives, and everybody's is known, and that was on both sides, and that was just absolutely. I think if we went down that like we walk normally, it would have took forever to go down that hallway for all the book of lives. We went down it zip, and we were down the other building, and back at that well area is when the other tunnel showed up for me to, to make my choices to where I wanted to go. There wasn't any real knowledge given that I can remember in those areas when I went through them, but that doesn't mean that knowledge wasn't gained on my behalf or transferred from them to me because of those areas there. I can't say that for sure, but I do know that throughout my lifetime things have come to me, and I don't know where it has came from. because I don't know a lot of like giving messages, for instance, giving somebody messages, you get information, you don't know where it comes from. And I take it as that was the areas that I went through, and we're all one. We can all pick up that energy anyways, just by tuning into somebody else and yourself too. They're everywhere. You're muted.
Oh, I'm muted.
Not now, you're not. Sorry. I thought you said something.
Oh, yeah. What did the beans look like?
They were, oh Lord. Being 6 years old, they were probably, I was about waist high to them. So that would make them about close to 6 feet, I would imagine. And they had no facial structure, no actual real identifiable, other than you can tell it was a beam because it had a head, the body, and had the limbs. But you couldn't see feet, you couldn't see anything. They glided, they didn't walk. So, I mean, they were just there beside me. There was no motion of movement with the arms, the legs, or nothing. They were just going right along with me, as I apparently probably did the same thing because I was in spirit at the time. But
Yeah,
probably
you saw colors, pink and orange.
oh,
Was everything else bright white or what?
the colors going down that was kind of a charcoal gray. The light was luminous. It wasn't the blue lights like what you see right now, but it was very, very bright. But it wasn't so bright you couldn't look at it. But that's what brought us to the well. And it was what was the guiding light to everything. When we went places was the light. So yeah, and the beings didn't have any structure as far as face, anything like that, where they were just shimmering beings.
Guiding light.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny? That was a soap opera, wasn't it? But
Yes, it
that is
was.
set for NDEs, that's a pretty significant term, guiding light.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, and their color was on the high blue, purple, going to white in those ranges right there, kind of like what's behind you in your window, going to white on your left side, it would be. So that's, in between those colors is what I was seeing those beings be. But we were against a charcoal gray background, and then we walked up to the well, and the bricks, very, I'm 6. I don't, they looked like this a regular well, but the confetti was all the colors. It was all the colors, not just the primary, but all colors. And it was just absolutely fascinating. The energy when I put my hands in it was just, like I said, mind boggling.
What do
I
you
can
make of
still,
that confetti? Was it colorful?
it was colorful. Yeah, it was all colorful. It was colorful. I think that was more than likely my interpretation now in life. I think it was something to bring me to put my hands in it. But I think it was just the energy of life itself was what was in that well. I think it was just the creative energy of life, I guess.
When I started writing my memoir, I was in our camper because my husband was working out of town, working away. And I woke up early one morning, he was at work, and this had never happened before. There was like this confetti, like it was dancing off my blanket. And I thought, well, it must be something weird with the light right now coming through the blinds that were closed, and the light from the TV, this red light, blue light, so the TV, just coincidence. But it was really strange. I'd never seen anything like it. So I grabbed my cell phone real quick, and I thought it probably won't pick up, but I'm going to take a picture. And it took a picture, and I took a video. And then all of a sudden I seen a flash of pink, and I hurried and snapped the camera, and I thought, what is this going to be, like just a pink blur or something? No, it looks like a pink spiral. And so when I type, this is no shit. When I type, excuse my language, when I type the end on my book, a sunbeam come in through the skylight in the camper and landed right on where I typed the end. And I thought, what a coincidence. And my husband had just walked in the camper because they had got rained out. And here's this, now the sun's out, and the sunbeam hit that. And I was like, I want to take this library and I want to print it out. And I said, isn't this cool, that sunbeam? And so I took a picture of that sunbeam. didn't think much of it. It was just a thing for me personally. And that was on like a Friday or Saturday morning. And so like Monday, my husband went back to work and I got looking through my phone, and uh, these strange pictures. It was in that sunbeam. There was the confetti, all colorful. I can send them to you. And I had even taken video
Be great. I'd
the
love that.
sunbeam. And there, the name of my memoir is Wolf Wildflower. And there's great big flower taking up the entire living room in this picture. Like, what in the world? And so I'm trying to rationalize. Okay, the flower petals, there's a ceiling fan at the top of the roof and of the ceiling, and but it's not in the picture, but maybe somehow light reflected and it made the petals. So I'm trying to rationalize. But when you say confetti, and I had to ask if it was colorful, because I just had that experience with confetti at one time. Well,
Pretty
twice,
cool.
when I woke up that morning and then when I took the picture of the end. That was twice.
Yeah, I
Um,
would love to see that. Yes, please send
I'll
that to me.
send it to you. I got video and I have pictures.
That's awesome.
And
That's
I
awesome.
went to some symposia Jeffrey Olson had in like 2018 in Sedona. And there was a guy there talking about certain phenomena, spiritual things. And so I went and followed him when he went outside. He was in his room getting his equipment packed up. And I said, "Can I show you some pictures?" And he was like, not impressed. But this other guy and his wife come in, and he had some kind of radio station in California about these things. And he overheard me. He's like, "What are you talking about? Can I see the pictures?" I'm like, "Well, yeah." And he said, "Send those to me." He wanted to put it on his show or something and talk about it. And then he was going to have me on and talk, but he never did. So I said, I forwarded it to him. But I mean, and then I'm sure some people think, what's the big deal? That's just something strange with pictures. And other people are, you faked it. Like, I don't know how to fake that stuff, and why would I?
Right, right,
So
right.
I don't
Yeah.
know. But yeah, that confetti, I'm curious. Like, what do you think that was? To me like energy. It's like
Yes. Yes.
spiritual,
It's just
magical energy.
all the energies of life. It's just letting us know that all colors, everything has energy. And you cannot deny the fact that all of those colors have life. A quick question for you. Do you have grandbabies?
Yeah.
Do they come over often?
Not as much as I'd like because they live 2 or 3 hours away.
Okay. Okay.
Bye.
Oh, I was just sorry about your loss for your dog.
Thank
That's
you.
that's very devastating. I would understand that.
We have court next Friday on that.
It's for the kids.
Pardon me?
It's for the kids. The Your dog, the message from your dog is saying it was for the kids,
What was for the kids?
the life loss,
It died because of the kids.
not necessarily because of the kids, but because of what's going to take place because of the death of the dog.
Oh.
Yeah.
That dog nipped at my grandkids' heels. It's a cattle dog, and they're
Okay.
just born nippers. And it doesn't hurt us, but little ones,
Yeah.
it wouldn't break the skin. And so I always put her up when they came.
Yeah.
I can't have them,
Yeah.
nipping at my grandbabies.
Now he's a protector. As a protector. So
Yeah, she was very protective. And
yes.
we believe she died protecting this place.
Yeah. And that's yes, that was the message. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Her name's Callie.
Callie. That's right.
Callie.
Yeah.
K-A-L-I. It's funny. I was going to go to a IONS conference, and I was thinking about it. It was a few years back. And my husband showed me a picture on Facebook of someone an hour away that had these puppies. And Callie was one of them. And I thought about it, and I said, you know what? I want to get that puppy because it's $300 instead of going to IONS conference.
Okay.
Because, IONS, like, we're all about the love. And I was like, I don't think so. I think I'll get more love from Callie.
Wise choice.
That's how I got Callie.
Good choice. Not saying anything bad about IONS. I was part of the group for a long time, spoke at many events, but yeah, we grow. When we grow, sometimes we have to cut ties.
Yeah, all that glitters is not gold.
Nope. Exactly right. That's exactly right.
And it's funny because we're talking about glitter. Right?
And
That's the real glitter.
there you go. Go spread some glitter on some grapes.
Pardon me?
Go spread some glitter on some grapes. Spread some
Spread
around your
glitter.
yard too. Spread some glitter. Yeah,
Yeah,
some
I
confetti. If
really,
you can find some, go spread some around your yard. I think that'd be kind of neat. Kind of neat.
uh,
So yeah, the my near death experience, it's been crazy ever since. You know, it was a 20-minute trip that turned into a lifetime of confusion, self-exploitation, discovery. And in here, I'm not close to the end of my life. I don't feel like it, but I look back and I don't have any regrets, because if I regretted anything, I wouldn't be who I am today. There's things I would do different. Then again, if I did them different, then maybe it would change who I am today. I really enjoy this part of my life quite thoroughly. I feel like I'm helping a lot of people because of my near-death experience. I sit with people who are dying and in the dying process. I've done that hundreds of times. Um, it's not for everybody. I was a fireman for a while, and doing that for a little bit, I helped a couple people cross over when I pulled up on a scene. It's kind of weird. And speaking of helping people cross over, since my near-death experience, that door's always been open, and it's open for everybody. And I'm not any more special than anybody else out there. As a matter of fact, you can do the same things we do. Just you gotta know you can. You gotta know who you are. I'm a awesomely powerful spiritual being in a physical body, and that I'm not very good at, but the spiritual part I'm pretty good at. But anyways, yeah, helping people cross over, that was a gift I had discovered that I could do when I was probably in my 20s. It just happenstance. I saw somebody sitting in the seat next to me. I wasn't on alcohol or drugs or none of that. I don't know where I was particularly at, probably just driving somewhere. And a being popped in next to me. And instead of freaking out, I asked, "What's going on? Why are you here?" And told me. And, when we talked, I asked that the light appear. And I wasn't told in my head to ask for the light to appear, but it just came out. I asked for the light to appear. And when I did, there was a not a bright light like you see on the movies, but just a little glow popped in. And when the glow pops in, I look over, I'm driving, and I look over, and he goes, "Thank you." And then he's gone. And it's like, what the hell just happened here? Type of thing. So it's like, oh man. So I got to pull over, and I pull over, and I'm thanking, oh my God, thank you so much for whatever just happened here. So since that experience, I dove into shamanism, and I've been a shamanic practitioner since my late 20s. And I mean, I love this, helping people cross over that are stuck in buildings that are haunted and things like that. I think is probably, besides my daughter, of course, will always be my biggest love. But helping people cross over, I love playing music. I'm a musician, and I'm born musician, and I just love helping people cross over, especially when you go to places and you know that they've been there for a long, long, long time. I was asked to go to a place in southern Indiana, and they had sent me pictures upon pictures of a brand new house that they had built. The house that they lived in previously was about 100 yards up. This is in southern Indiana. It's mountains down there. It's not mountains. I'm from Tennessee. That's mountains. Okay, they got big hills down there. So they're up the side of this big hill, and they're older and they couldn't drive up to get to the house, so they build one halfway down so they can get it done. So they sent me pictures of the basement, and this is I don't know, probably 3,000 to 4,000 square foot home, and the basement was half the size. So on one wall, brand new basement, they would crack from one point to the other. So they would bring a construction company in to redo that, replace it, set, yada, 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 the wall. They wait 6 months before they can do anything. You're ready to start moving in, the wall breaks again. So this time they took pictures of it. When they sent pictures, there was orbs. There's a difference between an orb and an energy ball. Okay, so there were probably 100, 150 different orbs within this picture. So I made arrangements with the owner, and they, paid for me to go down and take care of it, and yada yada yada. So we're there, and I usually have people leave when I do this because you activate spirits, they can jump on you. Then we got a whole different thing we got to work with and things like that. So I go down there and I asked them to leave for a couple hours because it was a nice house and they had a lot of property. So I like to do the property in the house. So they leave and I say, I'll give you a couple hours and I'll call you when I'm done. So they leave and I walk up to the main floor of the house and I sit down. And as soon as I sit down, a young man come up and sit next to me. And he was wearing what looked to be tattered Confederate clothes, but it was a mix max. So it looked like either it was dark blue pants and a gray top, so it looked like a mixed match of both clothes. So and he was sitting to me and he started talking, and so while we're talking he's describing what's going on, and he fades in and out, and I've been rattling to alter my thinking and my mental dimension so that I can see and sense on a higher pitch than what the physical realm is. So by doing this, he pops in. So we're talking and he's telling me what's going on. And he's telling me there was a skirmish here and there was a lot of people who had perished. And all along this area right here, the house was overlooking the ridge. The ridge was probably 100, 150 feet deep, and then went up and went all the way up the side over here. And they owned pretty much that entire area there. And the deck went out over a lot of that, but it didn't go down that far, but it went out over a lot of that. But it was a wide gap, probably, I don't know, maybe a 16th of a mile long between this gap and that, but they owned all of that too. But anyways, when he was telling me this, we looked out, and because of where he's at on his dimensional area, I was able to actually see what he was showing me. And Pegi, there were bodies laying. Oh man, it was just they were laying everywhere. It was awful. It was awful. I looked down the ledge where I'm at the deck, and it's just unbelievable. So I sit and I'm talking to him, and I do some things, and I summons, family, friends, and loved ones of those who are trapped here or who don't know that they have died. A lot of people don't know that they have died, especially in war scenes, and we're taught or very early in life that if you do this or do that, you're going to go to hell, just like I was told earlier. So a lot of people don't go into the light because they're afraid to go into the light because they've done a couple of things. Now I want to go to hell type of thing. So they don't go into the light. That's why there's so many hauntings. Anyways, so I'm doing all of this, and the light appears, and there's grandmothers, there's grandfathers, there's babies, there's moms, there's dads, there's all types of, and I see them just kind of lingering. And when they're lingering, boom, these spirits are just taking off, just taking off, taking off. And all of a sudden, all these are just, I'm getting, oh man, I wish you could see that. Holy crap, I wish you could see the cold chills on my arms. Holy crap. But anyways, they're just zipping, 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 just like light, taking off as these spirits are going. And I look around at him, and as I look around at him, and I'm in awe. I mean, I've done this a lot, but I've never had this many at one time. It's hard not to get emotional because these people have been here for a long time. They had no idea that they were gone. Okay. So I look over at him and he's going, thank you. And then he just disappears. And then I was shot a number in my head of how many people crossed over, roughly 750 at one time. And it's like, oh, are you kidding me? Are you serious? Oh my God, I cannot believe that, but looking out over the fields, there was, I mean, they weren't stacked, but there were bodies, they would be 10 here, 10 or 12 here, just everywhere. And so when it was all said and done, I blessed the land, blessed the scene, wiped the tears and composed, and got it all blessed, all of that, and did, what I do there. And I call the owners and they come back up and we're talking, and we talk half an hour, 40 minutes, and I tell them everything I saw and this and that. And then they go, okay, Cool. That's very cool. We appreciate you doing this. Can you take a ride with us? Okay, I'm kind of hungry. I'm thinking we're going to go somewhere and get something to eat. So we take a little ride. They go down the driveway and they turn left. I think for some reason, left to me is a very significant thing. It has been all my life. It's kind of weird, but I'm right-handed. But so, anyways, and we're going left around the side of this huge hill that they own. And on the back side of the property, Peggy, they pull in and there's a Civil War cemetery right there. They had buried almost everybody that was on that mountain right there. I had no idea. I had not a clue that this had happened. So that was one of those epiphany moments for me that I'm doing something that really needs to be taking place all over the planet.
I thought more about what you said about the dog and the grandkids. And there's two grandkids of our youngest adopted son we're trying to get custody of. And the little girl especially was scared to death of this dog, Callie. And our neighbor's dogs that killed Callie before that, they had been killing our farm animals for months. Turkeys, and then it was chickens, and then it was baby sheep, it was baby goats, it was this and that, chasing the goats off. And then so we've had a continual problem with this neighbor. But when Callie died, it was the last straw for the dog warden, because they know we've had this problem. And last November, the neighbor's dogs attacked our other dog, and it was almost a $500 vet bill. And the warden gave him a ticket then. At this time, when they killed Callie, they got another ticket and charges. And because of that, he locked up his dogs in kennels, because he was just relying on that electric fence. But that didn't always work, because all of a sudden those things would charge down like they were to kill and go back. They come down without warning. And I told the warden, I said, when they killed Callie, I said, they killed these animals, they killed Callie, they injured Ranger. I said, what's next, our grandchildren? And I was afraid that when we get custody of those little grandchildren, what if those dogs would come down and kill them? And she said, usually dogs don't do that. I said, usually. I said, I'm not taking any chances. But now, because of Callie dying, we don't have to worry about that, because those dogs are locked up.
Good. Yeah, and that's what I heard. It's for the kids. It was for the kids. It was for the kids.
Yeah. Kids are hopefully, we have not seen them dogs since he got these charges on him.
Okay.
So,
Good.
well, I appreciate you
Kelly.
coming on. Was there anything else that you wanted to share?
No, I think that's good. I think that's good.
Okay.
Unless you got some more questions, something else you got.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
You're pretty detailed,
I try to be. I mean, I've said this story, I don't know, 100, 200 times at this point. I've been saying it all my life. And, the more I live, the more testimonials I got, because of, it's interesting. I come across a device, Peggy. It's called the terahertz wand. It's a blower, and it was developed over east. And this thing blows out the same energy that our cells are supposed to be. It does the same thing that when I put my hands on you, it does the same thing. It brings the body back into attunement and back into alignment. Our cells vibrate at 7.83 beats per second. And if your cells are out of balance, your body's out of balance, you have illness, ailments, and things like that. You stay sick and are sick. You retain water. You have psoriasis. You have all kinds of things going on. Hip pain, swelling, arthritis, and this and that. I've hurt my back. Oh my God, I've hurt my back so bad. As a matter of fact, I'm still doctoring a wound from 2 weeks ago. But I bought this wand 9 months ago now. And I have arthritis in my hands. I do custom and classic cars. I do upholstery work. I do a lot of these and things of that sort. But my left hand, I'm 61. My left hand is getting to the point where I cannot do it anymore. And so I bought this wand, and my thumb was so swelled up. And I'm a retired drummer. I play drums, so I'm used to beating and banging. So my hands can't take it anymore. So I got arthritis so bad in my hands that I have a tough time just grabbing things. I bought this wand. I started drinking wanded water, which means I'll take the water, I'll blow the wand on it, which charges the water to 7.83 terahertz.
What kind of water?
It's regular water. and
Okay.
I blow the wand on the water. It charges the water to 7.8 terahertz. You drink the water, it realigns your cells in your body. It activates and reactivates dormant cells and creates and reactivates dormant stem cells. And stem cells is what people rely on for healing. And a lot of people lose their stem cells as life goes on. So by drinking, you start the healing process within. And I've been blowing my hands. My left hand, I have total mobility in my hand. I haven't had this like this since probably 1996, 1997.
Water blowing on the wand and back on you.
The water I'll use the wand to blow on the water. Okay, I'll charge the water, and then I'll take the wand and then I'll blow my hand with it or my arm with it or wherever else on my body that I want to, and it brings it back into alignment. And what it really does too, on top of that, is the cells are 7.83. Our blood is very globule. It's sticky, very sticky. And when you drink charged water and you blow yourself with that wand, your blood becomes linear. And when it becomes linear, it's more absorbed. And when you absorb it, then things start to work correctly. Look, I'm 61. I don't have any wrinkles. Any wrinkles on that? I don't have any. I'm 61. I blow my face. I'm getting black back in my beard again. It was all white. My hair's going brown again. I'm telling you, it's just absolutely, I'm amazed. This thing came along at the right time. Got people who have taken the vax and they use this wand and they pull themselves out of the vax injury just by using the wand.
Gives a
Neuro
whole new meaning to the phrase blow me.
well, I was gonna, but I didn't go there. I didn't want to go there, So, but yeah,
I'm not afraid to go there.
I'll let you go there. So that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. But anyways, I'm telling you what, if you want, I'll send you some information on this. I didn't buy it to sell it. I bought it because I hurt myself, and I've hurt myself bad. And I've been doctoring a back injury since probably 90, 89 or 9. No, actually,
Wow.
longer than that. I was 23, so that would have been the 82, 83. It'd have been 83. I hurt my back. I was being stupid, being a guy. We do stupid things. I was asked to do a job, ride up a forklift. There's a table saw sitting on this forklift, and I was asked to ride up and make sure it's stable. It was a commercial table saw, so I rode up going to put it in a rack system and get off of it, and it's stored. We go up. He goes forward. It's not up enough. He bumps, and when he bumps, the table saw starts to go. I grab it and I pull it back. And when I pull it back, I felt something go snap, and I went to the ground, and I hurt my back. And from that moment on, my back hadn't been the same. So, and I've turned down back surgery after back surgery after back surgery. I go to a chiropractor often. I have $500,000 a year chiropractor bills. It's just unbelievable. Working in the garden, my back would go out. So it went out the other day working in the garden. I got the one, I blew my back. I got an abrasion table, I hang upside down, I'm good to go. And usually it take me a month to 6 weeks to heal. I broke a rib in a car 8 weeks ago, and I wanted it the same night, and I haven't had any problems with it since. When you recharge your system like it's supposed to be, your body has no choice but to run optimally. So when you're like this, your body goes like that. And when your body's like that, so does your mind. And when your mind and your body in synchronicity, you're synchronized. Now your vibrations will raise. And when your vibrations raise, that's when your auditory things come in. You can hear better, see better, sense better, and things like that. And speaking of seeing better, one of the ladies that I'm involved with is she has cataracts and is scheduled for cataract surgery. Bought the wand. 6 weeks later, the cataracts are gone. So our cells are messed up in our body because of the air we breathe, the food we eat,
Who
the water
sells
we
that?
drink. It's called Prife International. It's out of Malaysia. It was developed in China by some great scientists. Russian studies have been done on it. when the medical establishment sees that this thing is doing what it's doing in America, they will outlaw and ban this thing. It is absolutely, I'm
What's
telling
it
you,
called?
it's called the Iteracare wand, the
Night,
Iteracare blower, Iteracare blower.
night care, not what? Oh, I was, okay, pull it back a little bit. Oh, let's do, I think, there you go. Tara. Okay. Okay, I got it.
These are, I'm telling you what, this is a lifesaver. This, oh my God, this is, let me send you information because if you're interested, let me sell one to you. If, I mean, I'm not trying to say one, don't get me wrong,
I
Peggy,
just Google it and
but
look it up. I'm just curious.
yeah, just look it up. You're probably not going to get what you want to see on there. Let me send you some information.
Okay.
Send me your phone number and I'll send you some information and a couple of videos. But this thing, I'm telling you, oh my God, this is, oh, it is taking the world by storm because this is a device that actually works. And it works like having your own hands-on healer. I've been actually, and I hate to even say this, I've made a couple clients mad because why do you want to spend $100 to see me when you can take this thing home for $380 and you don't probably have to see me again ever because it takes care of so many things. This is unbelievable.
Can't
Other
see you
than
for.
I do hands-on healings. I do cyclopump work, hands-on healings. I'm a Reiki master healer teacher. So I do things like that. So I see a lot of clients and I'm known for hands-on healing. Sorry, I'm not known. The being that I am, the light and those in charge are the ones who I'm just a hollow bone. I'm a vessel. So when I say I'm referring to everybody that is in charge here. But this thing can do that. Don't expect overnight miracles, but there has been overnight miracles. If I mean, I'm so thankful, and I will, if I could, I would give a one way to everybody because everybody needs to have this in your home. $380. I spend that. I've spent that in a couple of weeks with my chiropractor. Now I just blow my back, hang upside down, like I put my back in the spot again. It's like, yeah, this is great. I broke my hand, won my hand. We're good to go. You know, the rib. Usually I break a rib or two every year. I do race cars, the drag cars, they're pro street cars. They're actually they're cars that people who have a lot of money want to put them in and make them very fast and they're street legal. So they have roll bars in them, roll cages. So I have to lay on those to put carpet in them and do panels and things like that. So I broke a rib laying on one here 4 weeks ago now. And I felt it go, and it's like, oh, hell, here we go again. You know, it's going to be difficult to breathe now for 6 weeks. I'll just bandage myself up and go on to the next one. I got the wand out when I got home. I blew right on it where I knew I broke it. I did my back, did my chest again, no pain. Never did have any more pain, period. Before I couldn't lay on my back. I couldn't lay on my belly. I couldn't lay anyways. I couldn't do anything. I didn't even have to bandage up. Now my back, on the other hand, it's taking me a little bit to do that because I had that severe injury and it takes a little bit to bring that back into shape again.
You have to have somebody else blow on your back, right?
I've got a stand. I've got a hair dryer stand that I use.
Oh,
Yeah, I just sit it on the floor, adjust it to where I need it, and turn it on, and there you go. Now, one of the beautiful things of this thing is when you blow your spine up and down with this, that's what activates and re-energizes dormant stem cells and cells themselves. They go to a hospital to have stem cell therapy for cancer patients and things like that. Do your own. You know, a glass of wanded water, terahertz, you can check it out online. A glass of terahertz water is about $200.
and that's
I
just
drink
from
it.
blowing on it
That's
through
just from
this
blowing on it.
wand.
Yeah. And people buy it online. Now you buy the wand, you can make your own water
What
all day
is it
long.
about the wand that you blow on it?
It creates the terahertz frequency. The terahertz frequency is between microwave and 5G. There's a little gap there. It's called the terahertz gap. And that gap is what they use in airport scans now because it is not harmful. It penetrates, but it does not harm the body. And they discovered, it went off in somebody's head, hey, that vibrates the same as a human cell. And if that vibrates the same as a human cell, won't that create some kind of healing environment? I did my cat. I use it on my cat. I feed my chickens, my cats, my rabbits. They all have wanted water. I have a glass pitcher. I just 2 minutes is all it takes. Hold it above it for 2 minutes. The water's charged to 7.83 terahertz. The terahertz creates healing within the environment. When you drink it, the cat's hairs come back fully and fluffy. The ear mites are going away. It just, when the body is tuned like it's supposed to be, Peggy, it runs optimally. You have miracles.
You'll be like that guy on
necessarily,
Green
well, I had a
Mile.
tooth infection.
You're that guy on Green Mile
Hey,
when
I'm
he's in a
working on it,
nursing
you know. So
home.
I had a tooth infection. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking
So I had a
about?
tooth infection. I used the
Okay.
wand. I blew it. Yeah, I do know what you're talking about. So I
Okay.
blew my wand on my face. I discovered my hair is growing. It's going crazy. My hair is growing. It's growing more than it has in a long time. And then also, being a guy, we get this stuff going on with my ears. Now it looks like a force coming out of these, constant maintenance. My hair's growing, getting darker. It's unbelievable how this thing is working. I'm floored. I'm just floored. And it can
My
do like,
husband loved to have your beard. He can't grow a big beard. He's always wanted one.
Really? Yeah, this one is now, I think it's 4 years old or 5 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
He don't get much along here.
Really?
He'll get a goatee, but it doesn't even really get real long. It doesn't look good on him either.
Yeah, I like mine. I've had it for a while now. I keep telling my daughter I'm gonna shave it off. No, you're not. No, you're not. Oh, come on. No. So here it is. It's gonna stay.
Yeah, he would love to have that.
Yeah. So yeah, this one is absolutely remarkable. I'll send you some information. If you send me your
Okay.
phone number, I'll send you some information.
All right.
Other than that, yeah, I think I'm good. I mean, I don't think of anything else to say. Other than
Okay.
life is interesting now. It's really interesting. And I'm opening a healing center in Huntington, Indiana. And I will have these wands, and then I will also have a thing called the EE systems, which is the energy enhancement system. It is created by Dr. Rose Sandra Michael, and they're popping up all over the United States, actually popping up all over the world. And it is just like having this terahertz wand, except it's like 100 times more powerful.
EE what?
The EE system. It's called Energy Enhancement System.
Okay.
Yeah, by Dr. Sandra Rose Michael. And it's absolutely amazing. I mean, this is, I've applied for a med bed through Simon Parks and all of them for the application for my healing center here in Huntington. But I've also applied for the EE systems. I got approved for the EE systems, so I'll be doing that. And they are all popping up, and these things are absolutely remarkable. I'll be selling these terahertz wands out of there too, as complementary to the EE systems. The EE systems is 100 times more powerful than the terahertz wand, but the wand does the same thing. But it's just absolutely amazing.
All right. Well, thank you, Randall.
Oh, thank you very much, Peggy. Appreciate it. Okay, you have a good night. Tell your husband Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day to you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Bye.